Oh shoot. Okay. Well, that was kind of interesting. Hello. Hello, hello. I was not paying attention to what my screen was on. So you've seen the gaming screen. Shoot, where am I? Okay. Hi. Hello. Yahoo. It is nice to meet ya. Or to see ya. Why do I feel awkward right now for doing this? I'm not even sure. Wait. I feel like so much stuff is happening right now. But I'm not sure why or how it happened. Anyways. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. It is I, your favorite leafy boy, Avery. And welcome back to another library. We are playing Honkai Star Rail again. And to be honest, I had no idea where I was when I just logged in. Because I think I was farming maybe? Or maybe... Oh no, yeah, I was trying to do the... What is this called? Fiction? What fiction? Something fiction. I still have an hour until this. I'll just grab these. Pure fiction? Is it pure fiction? I think it's pure fiction. Yes. I was trying to do the pure fiction thingy, but it is hopeless. Anyways, welcome back. It's been a while. Well, it's been a week. Well, last week, we... Wait. That's not the thing. Last week, we did manage to get to Dreamflux. What? Reef. I feel like I'm in a silly mood again. Not because I am silly or whatever. It's just kind of happening. Please enjoy, or please forgive me for it. Whatever your preference is on the matter. But we are kind of far away from Penacony right now. So let's just jump back into it. Penacony. Not the Reverie. We are going back to Dreamflux Reef. We will be going right there. Teleport. Yeah, last week we learned quite a lot.
Need something? If not, then I'll be leaving.
One of those things was that
This trash can is perfect for me, and perfectly legal for me to stay in.
I wanted to do an impression, but he like beat me to it. Because that trash can is apparently perfect for that boy. Or man, I'm not really sure how that species ages, because that's like a completely different species of people. Is that how you say that? I feel like that might be a little, insensitive. But yeah, last week we learned that there is a dream under the dream, which is Dreamflux Reef and the Enigma or Dreamscape meme. I am fumbling with this, but the death thingy harbinger thingy with the big eyes and scary boss music is actually not offing people. It's a ferryman of sorts that helps the locals move between Dreamflux Reef and the dream of Penacony. And apparently, those two planes of dreams are collapsing into each other. So we gathered everyone. We have Firefly, we have Robin and Sunday, we have Misha here. Small, small little man. Love him to bits. And Micah, who is a big man, but still love him to bits. And we also have Gallagher here with some answers to the Astral Express crew and to the others. So let's see where we go from here.
I promised to give the siblings some privacy, so let's talk about our business first. What do you say?
Sounds good to me.
That sounds sensible enough. Since you went through the trouble of gathering the family head, the crew, and the Stellaron hunters, I'm guessing you have something important to say, Mr. Gallagher?
Oh, is it that obvious?
I mean, why wouldn't it be obvious? You literally gathered the most important players in this game, except for the IPC, I guess. But I'm not sure where Aventurine went, because he's not here in Dreamflux Reef. But he's in the deep sleep, or whatever you call that place. So there's probably going to be a part where we, circle back to that. Let's go on. Gallagher, please, tell us everything you know, mister.
The look on your face is practically screaming, I'm the one behind all this.
You're right, Mr. Yang. It is indeed time to come clean on everything.
Okay, then please do so.
The siblings already know what they need to, and they've made their choice. But you, Nameless, arrived a bit late. So it's only fair that I answer your questions. Before we begin, let me reintroduce myself. I'm the founder of Dreamflux Reef, the deputy of the Watchmaker, and the one who sent out that invitation.
So it was Gallagher. Okay, that's one question asked. We found out who the Watchmaker, or who the invitations were sent by.
As Gallagher, the history fictionologist, I humbly extend my greetings to you all.
History fictionologist? So what, everything you told us was made up?
Well, don't worry. Almost everything I shared was true. Well, except for the part about the family accepting me back.
I double-checked with Micah, and everything he said about the family, the Watchmaker, and Mikhail is true.
Okay, so we have another opinion, or another side of the story from Micah, who is going to be voiced by Himeko right now, because he's currently disappeared somewhere, I guess. But yeah.
Thank you for your understanding. Now let's get down to business. I'm sure you're all wondering why I went through the trouble of setting up this battle for the legacy. Inviting different factions and stirring up a ruckus all over Penacony.
I just realized something. Sorry. A second. Just a second. It's going to be... The more I talk, the longer it will take. I'm so good at this. Boom. Tweet out. I forgot to do the live tweet. But now it's out. It should be fine. Hopefully. Oh, the scuff is real. The scuff is real. Let's see. Okay. Okay. We are back on track. Okay. Sorry, I will need to read this again. Thank you for your understanding. Now let's get down to business. I'm sure you are all wondering why I went through the trouble of setting up this battle for the legacy, inviting different factions and stirring up a ruckus all over Penacony. That's a really good question, which we are hopefully getting the answers to right now.
It all boils down to something very familiar to all of you. The Stellaron.
So there is a Stellaron in Penacony, apart from us.
The Stellaron? But how is that possible? Penacony is a free-flowing interstellar hub. There are no signs of contamination whatsoever.
You're totally correct. So, care to take a guess at what that means?
Stellaron has been completely sealed, which is a possibility, but who would have sealed it? Because I think that's kind of our job. Someone is manipulating the Stellaron. You are pulling our leg again. I don't think so. Like, we know too much at this point for him to be playing another game. So I think it might have been sealed.
I wish that were the truth. But if that were the case, I wouldn't have invited all of you.
Yeah, so... Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Would it... If it would have been sealed... I almost said sealed, which does not make sense. But if it would have been sealed, we wouldn't need to be here, because that's our job, kinda.
The sweet dream doesn't come out of thin air. If you think of the memory zone as the sea, creating the land of the dreams is like filling that wild ocean with earth to make an island.
So the Dream Masters are using the Stellaron to create the dream.
To achieve this feat, without the help of an Emanator of Remembrance or Enigmata, the only way is to use a Stellaron.
Without the help of an Emanator of Remembrance or Enigmata, the only way is to use a Stellaron. So they are using a Stellaron. Because the only two Emanators so far that we know of are... My mind went blank. Diherta, who is an Emanator of... Why is my brain not braining today? But yeah, Diherta and Acheron are the two Emanators that we know of right now. And there's the big lady at the Sea Angel, who is an Emanator of Destruction. I forgot her name. Again, this is not the first time I do that. As much as I like lore and I understand things, I seem to be way too forgetful to keep track of names. What was her name again? Pantilia. Yes, I got you. It only took me like a solid minute to remember all of those names.
And that's not something you can achieve with a simple wish. It requires vast quantities of knowledge, time, and manpower. I'm sure you get what I'm hinting at. In Azdana, the planet of festivities itself is a Stellaron disaster.
Wow. Okay, I was not expecting that to be the truth. To be honest. Like, I knew there was going to be a Stellaron somewhere, somehow. But I did not think that the Stellaron will be powering the dream and it's going to be a form of a Stellaron disaster. Very interesting.
The planet of festivities itself is a Stellaron disaster?
I mean, if you kind of think about it, it does make sense in a way.
It all started a long time ago, back when the Watchmaker and his crew liberated the frontier prison. They faced countless challenges as they began building Penacony from the ground up. That's when the idea of using the Stellaron came into play.
So it was a conscious decision.
The Stellaron first entered the Azdana system during the war.
Hmm?
The Nameless warned everyone against the folly of attempting to tamper with such a power, and most heeded their words. But there are always people in the shadows with ulterior motives. The turning point came after Tiernan's death. With two of the Nameless gone, the Watchmaker had to go to the front lines. It was at that moment his rivals saw an opportunity.
Okay.
By the time a representative from the Montour system's family arrived at the Watchmaker's call, the Stellaron had already been activated and was seeping into the primordial synesthesia dreamscape.
Right. So the dreamscape itself existed, but the family shaped it into what it is today by using the Stellaron.
And I suppose the family happened to possess the knowledge to seal the Stellaron?
Not just that. They knew far more about the Stellaron than the average person. They helped Mikhail swiftly quell the civil unrest and played a part in building Penacony under the disguise of the Harmony.
So they took over and perpetuated the Stellaron disaster instead of preventing it, or not preventing it, but stopping it and sealing the Stellaron using the name of the Harmony. That is messed up.
Those three eras were known as the Age of Dreaming. The Watchmaker, who had been left in the dark, sent out invitations across the universe, spreading the hype around the land of the dreams.
Interesting.
Then, how did they turn against each other?
Remember the island in the ocean metaphor? The truth is, the Stellaron was never truly sealed. It existed in a different form within the dreamscape. Think about this. What would it cost to create and maintain such a lavish dreamland? It's people's lives. The opulent dream is built upon the decay of spirits, with a toxic elixir called pleasure flowing through the dreamscape. It tempts people to indulge in the dreamscape, and gradually their minds succumb, becoming nourishment for the sweet dream.
Interesting. I mean, that while he was talking about this, like toxic elixir called pleasure, the Greek mythology popped into my head with the lotuses. I hope you know what I mean. where you like there was an island, I believe, just like he was talking about, where they made people lose their sense of time with pleasure and happiness given by the lotuses they consume. So that's kind of the same thing. And they wither away, not even realizing it. Interesting.
Confusion, laziness, and cowardice. Weaknesses that plague humanity were magnified and nourished by the family. Penacony became a new kind of prison, even more impenetrable than the previous one.
So they took over the prison realm. The Watchmaker and the other nameless helped liberate and created a new one, basically. But it's so well disguised that people do not realize it's a prison.
Sadly, we realized this far too late.
Mm.
By then, the family had a firm grip on Penacony, swiftly quelling any opposition that arose. At my wit's end, I had to use the power of the Enigmata, and sought refuge in this chaotic memory zone. Over the years, I fabricated a meme within this dream for our use.
I had to use the power of the Enigmata. That sounds so ominous and so important, but I have no idea what the Enigmata is.
Dormancy. That's its real name. We exploited a loophole. You see, regular people can't fall asleep again while they are inside the dreamscape.
Yeah, that's true. I think. From what we experienced before.
So, this is the true meaning of the impossible. You sent out invitations in the Watchmaker's name to find forces capable of resolving the Stellaron disaster and draw them into Penacony to uncover the truth.
It's not just that. Above all, I wanted to see what happens when the major factions engage in a struggle for the legacy. Since this is the Watchmaker's first announcement in decades, the traitor within the family is bound to reveal themselves.
Yeah. Okay, I'm seeing the vision right now. The pieces are fitting together quite nicely, if I do say so myself.
So, the legacy is just a facade.
If you want to consider the Stellaron as the legacy, I'm totally fine with that.
In a sense, it is, actually. Because that is a really well kept secret by the family.
If that's the case, where is the Stellaron now?
That's a question for Mr. Wings. The Stellaron is still under the family's control, and as the head of the Oak family, I'm sure he holds all the answers.
Mr. Wings, that's probably Sunday.
Go ahead. I'm sure Mr. Wings holds all the answers.
Fascinating. Like, Micah is gone. Hi,
You
Misha.
all look quite serious. Is there anything I can do to help?
Hopefully. I do want to see him more. Like, he is so cute. He's adorable. I do like Misha's design and personality. It's very, very cute.
Are you done talking?
Mr. Sunday,
So, will you tell us where the Stellaron is?
please, help us. Help me help you.
It is the Penacony Grand Theater itself.
So that's why the Grand Theater is like the center piece of Penacony. It makes sense. It makes sense. Everything is just clicking into place. Every piece is clicking into place. My brain is not braining, as I said before.
As I suspected, it's the embodiment of the family. The edifice that first materialized within the sweet dream. That's what turned Penacony into its current state.
As for the person who employed its power, it is in fact Mr. Gopherwood, the current Dream Master.
Well, that was easier than I thought. Did you conduct your own investigation already?
Correct. When I was trying to track down the person who murdered my sister, apart from you, Gopherwood was my second suspect.
Confronting me first turned out to be a smart move on your part.
I didn't have other options. The Dream Master has been elusive, and even the heads of the families can hardly get an audience with him. Moreover, Mr. Gopherwood has been kind to my sister and me. And I didn't want it all to end like this.
What do you mean by that?
To be honest, my brother and I are also victims of the cancer of all worlds. We grew up as orphans, and were adopted by the family when they came to help. Mr. Gopherwood recognized our potential and brought us to Penacony. But I can't just stand by and watch Mr. Gopherwood become an enemy of the Harmony. I won't use my voice to support an evil cause. I won't step on that stage and sing, no matter who the traitor is, or what orders they give me. I won't let the Charmony Festival become an event that destroys Harmony itself.
Very strong convictions. I like that.
For the paradise in our dreams.
Indeed. For the paradise in our dreams. As the head of the Oak family, I'm responsible for ensuring Penacony's promising future. Robin and I will head into the sweet dream and confront the Dream Master. And if it turns out that the family has truly strayed from the Harmony, I'll fight alongside you. We'll put the Charmony Festival on hold and make sure Mr. Gopherwood pays for his blood debt.
The enemies you are about to face aren't like this old dog here, who can barely even bark. Since our interests are aligned, why don't we team up? Maybe, just maybe, we'll have a shot at success.
We have always been following in the footsteps of our nameless predecessors, and there's no reason to stop now.
Yeah, we Nameless won't back down from a challenge. Isn't that right, Mr. Trailblazer?
It is time for us to do the right thing. Finally, that we get the answers. Everything makes so much more sense now on why things worked out the way they did. I'm still kind of puzzled about Acheron. Because she came here to Penacony and then she left already. Because I do remember her saying that as an emanator of nihility, she is basically the opposite of Harmony. And as Harmony, the family or the Dream Master tried to chase her out of Penacony. But Acheron told them, or him, I don't know how we want to say it, that they both know that the way things are going right now, Penacony is not going to be a part of the Harmony anymore. Which is true, like Celeron's are destruction materialized, basically. which is why it's called the cancer of all worlds. It is made by the Aeon of Destruction. So yeah, it is going downhill very fast, and we do need to get to the bottom of this. Ain't nothing to fear no more.
That line actually makes me a bit nervous.
March, we can do this.
Rest assured, sitting on the sidelines isn't in our nature. Mr. Sunday, Miss Robin, I'm willing to accompany you on behalf of the Astral Express. Having a third party present should help with negotiations, and could make all the difference if things get ugly.
Thank you, Mr. Yang.
Look at us go.
Thank you all very much.
The Charmony Festival is about to start, and time is against us. We must hasten.
Everyone, let's gather over here. We still need to make some preparations.
Let's do that.
I may have been quick to step up to the plate, but confronting the Dream Master could be a very dangerous affair.
Most probably, yes.
Even you're saying that, Mr. Yang? How powerful is that Dream Master?
Powerful enough to control the whole dreamscape. I'm not really sure what's not clear about this, March.
He's the leader of the families of Penacony. He has the entire power of the Harmony behind him. Not to mention the Stellaron in his possession. We must proceed with great caution.
Yep.
Maybe you can just stay behind this time, Mr. Yang?
Why?
No, that won't do. Even if we count Robin as an ally, something felt off about Mr. Sunday just now. Although, I can't quite put my finger on it.
I'm glad I wasn't
have to
the
make sure
only
you
one.
won't turn against us when things start to get dicey.
Exactly. That's what I was like when Robin was talking about the dream, and then Sunday repeated the phrase. I'm not remembering exactly, but like there was a zoom in, not showing his eyes. It's kind of, you know, a shorthand when, because you know, eyes are the windows to the soul. And that is why one of the reasons you can tell when people eye is by looking at their eyes. And when, like, that was such, how do I say this? How can I explain this? Like, that was such an obvious, an intentional shot of not showing Sunday fully, like concealing his eyes. Like it was there to make you feel uneasy, just like Welt is saying right now.
You're still carrying the keepsake the IPC envoy gave you, right? May I borrow it for a moment?
Oh yeah, we did get something. It's the, like, lucky chip.
Huh. I knew it.
What do you need it
As
for?
I suspected, this chip Aventurine gave to you is actually a miniature transmitter. If I'm right, he intends to use it to track your location or contact you when needed. As it so happens, this may actually be of some use in the current situation.
But for all the reasons we just went through, we think that Aventurine actually, like, died in the fight against us and Acheron.
Aventurine? Is he still alive?
Right?
And what is he have to do with our mission to confront the Dream Master?
Remember what I said earlier? Working with the IPC is a way to keep the family in check.
Yeah.
If negotiations go south and the family show their true colors by going after the Stellaron, I'll use this transmitter to send a message to the IPC. It'll be just the opportunity the IPC ambassador was hoping for.
That's so smart.
The only question mark in all of this is Aventurine's current status. But the IPC is always listening, especially senior strategic investment department heads like him. Getting the message across shouldn't be a problem.
Good luck to you, Welt.
Well, you take care too. If anything goes wrong, don't worry about me. Just make sure to seal the Stellaron.
A self-sacrificing man. I'm not really sure if I want to lose him or not. I am sure I don't want to lose him, so please don't say stuff like that.
Spoken like a true hero. Even if the Dream Master is innocent, the family's corruption runs deep. I won't make the same mistake Mikhail did. Let's wish him the best of luck.
Don't you have something else to tell us, Gallagher?
Yes, Mr. Wait. Was there anything else?
Why would you say so?
Before we departed, the conductor asked us to inquire about the 3 nameless in Penacony. We've already collected intel about Rosalina and Tiernan, so the only one left is Legwork.
Legwork?
If I'm not mistaken, we've already met him somewhere, haven't we?
It's not enough to say meet, but the answer is pretty obvious. After all, I've hinted at it in quite an evident way. I've been watching over you ever since I received the reply from the Astral Express, and I've seen the great effort you all put into linking different realms together across the cosmos. And now, after getting this far all in one piece, you have truly proven yourselves. Miss Himiko, were you the one who repaired the Express and got it sailing through the cosmos again?
Yes.
And you two, young Nameless, you have very interesting life stories and extraordinary skills.
That's right. Aw, you're making me blush. No. Of course, my reputation precedes me. Believing the galactic baseballers' supremacy. Do I want to go? Both of these are kind of gremlin. Let's go. Let's go with this one. Aw, you're making me blush.
I don't know much about my life story, but I do have extraordinary skills.
March, you've been found floating in space, encased in ice. If that's not one heck of an origin story, I don't know what is.
You're full of energy. Please send my regards to the conductor, Pom Pom. Please let them know that their friend has fond memories of his time aboard the Express, which he reminisces on every time he has a good drink.
Aw.
As for the last Nameless, he embarked, disembarked, and embarked again, traveling in a great circle, ending up back where he started. On his deathbed, he told me to find the Astral Express and deliver an invitation to the future Nameless. He left behind a special gift, a true legacy. Something that belongs only to the successors of the Trailblaze.
That's us. Yippee!
Come with me. Now is the time to reveal it.
Let's see where this goes.
Back here again.
Sometimes I feel like you're still alive, old friend. Like you've still got so much to say and do. I've kept my promise, brought the future Trailblazers you've waited so long for. I don't know why you were so obsessed with that train, but I remember your last words. Don't let us down, old man.
What's happening?
That's a good question. That's the Grand Theater, right?
Go ahead. His resting place lies in the garden up ahead.
No, it's not the Grand Theater. Why did I think that's the Grand Theater? It's up in the street, Sweet Dream. We are still back at Dreamflux Reef. There's a garden up ahead.
The first and last nameless of Penacony. Mikhail Char Legward, the Watchmaker.
Aww. So we can learn about the Watchmaker now. I feel like I should be using a team with Astral Express members, but I don't have all of them. And I'm not sure if I can make a functioning team with the members that I have leveled. So it is what it is for now. But this is so beautiful. Truly dreamy. Treasure!
Ah, you want this? Fine. Take it and amuse yourself.
Oh wait, there's another one. Didn't even notice it. Treasure! This is so beautiful. Like, we just discovered this place last week. And there's like such a nice, nostalgic, and comfy vibe. At least for me. From this. And it's very different from the Sweet Dream of Penacony. Both of them are great in their own way, but I think I prefer this. The other one is very bright, very flashy. Maybe a little bit too much for me. Wait. There is someone there. And I'm seeing silver hair. Beneath the sea surface of Memory Zone, in a garden closest to the full moon in the water, an elderly man rests on a recliner, enveloped in utter silence. The Watchmaker, Mikhail Char Legward, has passed into that endless, timeless dream where no sound could ever awaken him.
Sure enough, the Watchmaker is the third nameless. Even I could guess that one.
The legacy he left behind was a dream bubble. I believe inside that bubble, there's something that holds meaning only for the nameless. After all, when I checked its contents, I found nothing inside. Maybe some Trailblaze runes? Even more enigmatic than me.
Well, let's have a look.
Let's see. As the word sea, Himeko nods ever so slightly in your direction. You take a deep breath Steady your mind and turn your gaze towards the Watchmaker. Touch the dream bubble in Mikhail's hand. You press your hands against the dream bubble, and the thick, viscous memoria converges under strain, then stretches outwards from your fingertips, as if weaving a delicate web. It gently cradles your palm. A chill travels from your fingertips, carrying with it a myriad of vibrant and intertwined memories, as experience would suggest. But this time, you see nothing at all. Take a deep breath. The dream bubble is clearly extraordinary. Perhaps the approach was wrong, you think, holding your breath and closing your eyes. With one knee on the ground, you press your forehead against the thin film coated in memoria. Yet before you, there remains an abyss of darkness. No crimson sun descending upon snow-capped mountains, no gentle laughter, no twinkling stars, no echoes of swords clashing, and most of all, no traces of Trailblaze. There is nothing, and nothing is there. Indubitably, this is but an empty dream bubble.
Wait, what's going on? Seriously? There's nothing inside this dream bubble? How could a dream bubble be empty?
Just as I suspected. That old man always had this strange belief in the Nameless and the Trailblaze, and I never understood where he got that confidence from. Especially since he never managed to get in touch with the Express while he was alive. I could never figure out what was going on in that old man's head. But this empty dream bubble is so typical of him. He was always full of weird fantasies and incomprehensible romanticism. That mischievous old man. Well, I didn't expect him to leave anything concrete behind anyway.
Don't think that's the case, Gallagher. I'm sure Mikhail has left us the most precious thing of all.
Don't start getting all philosophical on me, all right?
Just as Mikhail believes in the Nameless of the future, we unconditionally believe in the Nameless of the past. How could they leave with regrets for the future when they were ready to dedicate their lives to the land they loved?
Aww.
There must be something contained in this dream bubble. It's just we haven't figured it out yet. You also have faith in the Watchmaker, don't you, Gallagher?
Well, I'm a follower of the Enigmata. My philosophy forbids me to have faith in anything. That's why I understand what faith means in the path of Trailblaze. And I also want to know what he left behind. I'll leave it to you guys then.
From what I gathered, and what I've heard or read about the story and the Aeons, and also game mechanics, because we can deduce stuff from game mechanics as well sometimes, but what we are seeing is maybe finality, because from what I remember, the path of Trailblaze that the Nameless follow is about adventure, it's about journey, it's about helping others, but most importantly, like the journey part, constantly moving, improving, and, you know, being in motion. But nothing ever stays in motion. And that's where, like, the opposite of the Trailblaze comes in, which in this case is finality. And this might be a theory. We may get a confirmation here, or we might not get an actual answer for this. But it's my theory for now that what we are seeing is kind of finality. It's the end of the journey. It's the end of Trailblaze. Or maybe it's not that deep. Maybe it's just a hidden message that we cannot decipher yet.
Can I borrow your pet? I need to make a trip back to Golden Hour and check something at the Dreamscape sales store.
That's right. There are other dream bubbles at the Dreamscape sales store.
It's for Mikhail, and for the future of Penacony.
Switching to Boot Hill's POV.
Welcome to the Reverie Hotel. How may I help you?
Greetings. We're the Nameless from the Astral Express, and we'd like to check in.
The Astral Express? But I thought...
Yes, my companion's already checked in. My name is Danheng, and I believe my personal information is recorded in your system.
Is this where the meme comes from? I think it is.
I see, but your companion said you wouldn't be coming due to a change of plans.
Now the plans have changed again.
And you are...
I'm Pom Pom.
Me? I'm Pom Pom. A new Nameless who's also with the Astral Express.
The conductor.
He's my fellow Trailblazer. We responded to the family's invitation before he boarded the express, so he wasn't registered in your system. Is it possible to accommodate him as well?
Danheng is really trying to sell this.
Oh, I see. Another one of the Nameless had a similar situation. Seems like a lot of people are joining the Trailblaze these days.
Yeah, kinda.
Since there's a precedent, it shouldn't be a problem. Just give me a second to contact your companions.
Which is going to be quite hard since we are at Dreamflux Reef.
I'm sorry, dear guests, but it seems I'm unable to reach the other members of the Astral Express.
What do you mean by unable to reach them?
My apologies. This is the first time I've encountered a situation like this. However, the system indicates that those guests are still in the dreamscape.
How about this? Give me their room number, and we'll go check on them ourselves.
I'm afraid that's not possible. I need to verify both of your identities before I can share any guest information.
Yeah, and that's a real thing that Hotel. Why did I say Hotel? Sorry, that might have piqued my mind. But yeah, why did I say that weird? But that's it. Actually, like, checking identities is a real thing that hotels do. For security reasons, it makes sense, but I don't want to get into it. But yeah, it makes sense.
How about you just wake up someone? Let's say, Welt?
Well?
I'm sorry, but there are strict rules regarding forced awakening. It cannot be done without the proper clearance.
Yeah.
So nothing works, huh? What's your solution then? Are you saying we sleep here? At the reception?
Bootiel, come on.
Please be patient. We need to contact your companions in order to confirm your identities.
And now it seems you need to confirm our identities before you can contact our companions.
It seems so.
Oh, fudge.
Look, nothing personal, but if you can't handle this, go find someone else who can, okay?
I want to talk to a manager.
Please calm down, dear guests. I do recall that Mr. Sunday, the Oak family head, personally handled this issue earlier. Oh, please wait a moment while I contact him.
It should be possible, I think, because they left before us. Unless these things are happening simultaneously. And if that's the case, Sunday is still at Dreamflux Reef, so you will not be able to contact him as well.
I don't think she's trying to give us a hard time. She really just doesn't know what to do.
I have a bad feeling about this. You tried to contact them on the Express earlier, but they didn't respond.
We are fine. Calm down. Nothing to worry about.
Something doesn't seem right.
That is true.
I need to leave for a moment. You can stay here with the receptionist.
Sure thing. Just don't keep me waiting forever. Danheng seems pretty worried about his companions. I should give him some space. Stressing out about it won't help anything.
Boot Hill! Let's go! I love this little goober. He seems very rough around the edges, but I do believe he's a good guy. Ask around the lobby for information and wait for Danheng. I'm still not sure how to pronounce it, because Boot Hill just said Danheng. Anyways, before we do the asking around thing, it has been an hour, so please do a big stretchy stretch. On shrimp, as some might would say. Hey, lady, I'm kind of right in your path. Sorry. Anyways, and don't forget to drink some water. Hydration is very important. Let's go. Head of security.
Greetings. I'm Cody of the Bloodhound family, head of security for the hotel. How may I assist you?
Hello. So, there's something I wanted to ask about. I've been hearing some unsettling rumors about certain incidents that might affect the Charmony Festival. Do you think there's anything to be worried about? I've traveled all the way from the Hayai Federation, and I don't want my trip to be ruined.
What do you mean?
Wait, you haven't heard?
I'm not sure where you heard those rumors, but they're completely baseless. I can assure you, as a representative of the Bloodhound family, that everything is going smoothly for the Charmony Festival.
You don't even know what kind of rumors he was talking about. Like, these, like, vague prompts that you give out. It's like to kind of feel around and deduce the situation. And just by saying this, you are confirming suspicion, and there are things going south. Even though that the effect of what you're saying is supposed to be the complete opposite.
At present, all of the families are focused on making sure the festival starts on time. Even the Dream Master himself has arrived. So don't worry, your trip won't be in vain.
That's a relief to hear.
And she even confirmed that the Dream Master is involved as well Like, I know, like, crisis communication is weird that way because you either sound believable and, people take your word for granted. But if there's someone who has an inkling of information or just the slightest bit of suspicion in them, is going to think like, yeah, so the rumors I've heard are somewhat true, and the Dream Master is actually involved in this whole thing. So yeah, it's kind of a double-edged sword at this point.
She doesn't appear to be acting. So, it seems that even the hotel staff are out of the loop.
Maybe I'm just thinking too hard about this. Like, to me that screams everything I just talked about, but apparently Bootail took it for granted. Interesting. I thought he was more suspicious of them, but apparently not. Border Star Princess.
The Charmony Festival is about to start. I'm so excited!
Hey! You guys here for the Charmony Festival too?
Well, I didn't come all the way here specially for the festival. Honestly, I don't really even know what it's about. But I heard it's a lot of fun!
Well, back in my homeworld, Anaria, we have festivals like that all the time. My dad threw me a birthday party one time that was just as extravagant as the Charmony Festival.
Oh, ho, ho. Look at me, I'm the princess. That was not a great Ojo-sama impression.
Oh, come on! The Charmony Festival is a once-in-an-amber-era event. How can a birthday party compare?
True.
Well, you never know, right? Maybe on her world, birthdays only happen once in Amber Era.
Maybe, but I have a feeling she's going to shoot something back at us that's going to tell us something.
Anyway, let's forget about that. Have you heard about the, unsettling things happening in the dreamscape?
He's digging.
Unsettling things? What could possibly go wrong? It better not ruin the Charmony Festival! I've been looking forward to it!
Relax. With a big event like this, there's bound to be lots of gossip and rumors. Don't worry. If anything does happen, the family will be on top of it.
It sounds very posh. Definitely sounds very posh.
Oh, that's a relief. I didn't come all this way to see the festival go down the drain.
That does not sound sarcastic at all. At all.
Well, looks like I won't get any fudging clues out of these two. They're clueless. Back already?
Hasn't she returned yet?
Nope. I'm starting to wonder. Sending her to contact Sunday was a good idea. Neither the staff nor the guests seem to know anything about what's happening in the dreamscape, and wherever we go, all we see is people enjoying themselves. Definitely not a good sign.
You know what they say? Ignorance is bliss.
I agree. Another unusual thing is that the Oak family is supposed to be in charge of organizing the council and managing everything inside and outside the dreamscape. However, I walked around the hotel but didn't meet a single member of the Oak family on such an important day.
Wait. I just had a thought. The Dream Master is the wood guy, and the whole Oak family is the harmony. and Sunday is the head of the Oak family. And while yes, Robin is from Penacony, but she is an intergalactic superstar. So she's kind of, you know, detached from the family in a way. But what if the Dream Master and the Harmony, quote unquote Harmony, is kind of controlling Sunday as well? So Sunday might just be acting like he is on our side right now. Food for thought. Like, sometimes I go way too deep. Maybe we'll confirm this later, or probably not. Let's just face it, I'm not really sure if my theorizing here is correct.
Well, I'll be forked. If I remember correctly, the head of the Oak family is that Sunday guy, right?
Yes.
We shouldn't linger here too long. Let's go back to the Express for now.
Not so fast. Have you ever robbed VIPC, bro?
Bro?
If you run away now, everyone will be chasing after you.
Are you suggesting we sit here and do nothing?
It's not like you can do anything else on the Express either. Like, you will be sitting and waiting in the Express as well.
I wouldn't say do nothing, but let's stay put for now. Even if the family has ulterior motives, they couldn't have anticipated us showing up here. We're the surprise factor for them. They don't want to attract unwanted attention from certain outsiders, so they won't do anything reckless. See? The IPC lackeys are keeping a close eye on this hotel.
If I were a family member, I'd find an official excuse and keep the surprise factors here. If we just wait here, that would be like walking into their trap.
That kind of makes sense as well, though.
Of course, we don't need to walk into their trap. I gave a backup plan to the memo keeper. If it turns out we won't be allowed to enter the dreamscape, she'll order a drink for me in the VIP lounge at the hotel. In reality,
a secret signal.
That's right.
So, Boothill is working together with Black Swan.
Oh, a concrete object can indeed help the memo keeper establish a connection with you. But Boothill, if you have more backup plans in the future, I hope you'll let me know in advance.
I'm sorry, but it's one of my quirks. I have too many unreliable friends. And if I reveal that I have backup plans, things can go awry. And that would leave all backup plans completely useless.
Kind of makes sense. But at the same time, you know, trust is a two-way street, and if you don't share, we won't know, and we wouldn't be able to trust you. So, like, you know, just teamwork in general.
How do we get into the VIP lounge?
This is where my street smarts come into play.
Street smart. Hello.
You're the lobby manager, right?
Yes, I am. How may I assist you?
We're the Nameless from the Astral Express. We wanted to check in, but there's something wrong with your system. The lady at the front desk said she would contact the manager, but now she's nowhere to be found. Now, we've been waiting here forever, without any food or water. What the fork, man? Is this how the family treats its guests?
What the fork, man? I love this, actually. Like, it sounds kind of silly, it sounds kind of weird, and some people might not enjoy it, but I like this kind of, you know, workaround swearing. It's just, it's just so fun. I do enjoy it. It's nice.
Is this your idea of street smarts? Starting an altercation?
It's called standing up for your rights.
I apologize for the inconvenience. Please wait while we try to contact Mr. Sunday. I'll arrange 2 premium seats in the VIP lounge so you can rest there while you wait.
See? Just like that.
I mean, that's one way to do it, but I see a version of this where it does not work. But it kind of works now in the story.
Just don't call yourself nameless next time.
Wow, this bar's something else. Certainly worthy of the planet of festivities.
Anderson.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hello.
Hey, I have an order for a bottle of His Donna's White Oak. Can you help us find it?
Donna's White Oak. I think there might be a misunderstanding. We don't serve that here.
Oh, no way. Are you sure you're not mistaken?
If someone had reserved such a beverage, I would definitely remember it. It sells for hundreds of thousands of credits per bottle, after all. I couldn't afford to cover for such an item if it were broken or lost.
Yeah.
That's strange. Well, could it be that the memo keeper couldn't afford it?
I'm not sure if that's the case here.
Then what should we do now?
Oh, no need to rush. Well, let's grab some drinks first. Maybe I arrived too early and she hasn't come yet.
Maybe.
Let's see what kind of juice malts you all have here. Well, give me a glass of Heenum Valley, 40 years. I'll have it neat. No ice.
I'll have it neat.
Wow.
No ice.
That's the most expensive one on the list. You have a taste for the finer things.
It's on the house, anyway.
Are you sure about that?
What can I get for you?
Anything you recommend is fine.
Then I would recommend today's special, Glass Village. It's classic Soul Glad mixed with Laboom juice. It's refreshing and suits your cool demeanor. Just 1 minute.
Ah, this flavor. Dynamite barbecue with rocket fuel. Ooh, really hits the spot. Truly the finest sherry cask aged malt juice in the cosmos.
Truly. Truly.
Dynamite barbecue with rocket fuel. Is that really something that humans enjoy?
I almost said you're a human as well, then I remembered he is not a human. He's a Vidyadhara.
This guy doesn't know anything at all.
As long as you're satisfied, dear guests, please enjoy.
Let's give the memo keeper another half-system hour. If she doesn't show up, we'll need to come up with a new plan. In the meantime, let's take stock of the situation. What do you think?
The situation is unclear. Something must have happened on the planet of festivities, but the public is unaware of it. Someone in a position of power within the family must be covering it up. It's unusual for the followers of the Harmony to invite other factions, let alone the IPC and the Masked Fools. If what you said about the Emanator of the Nihility is true, the situation in Penacony is a little complicated. to say the least.
That is 5 out of 5.
Actually, there's something else I'm concerned about. Regarding Acheron. As you know, the faction that follows the path of the hunt are some of the most dangerous folks in the cosmos to mess with.
Yeah.
I mean, who in their right mind would impersonate the Xianzhou Alliance or the Galaxy Rangers? It's like asking for a death wish. Isn't there a saying among the Xianzhou people that the Rainbow Sect lets their Lux arrow do all the beating?
Talking. Do all the talking.
It's the nice juxtaposition where, like, these are two factions of people following the same path, but Boothill does not know much about, or he does know some stuff about the Xianzhou, and Danheng is actually from the Xianzhou, so like, it's kind of funny. Like, I like the banter here.
Well, you know what I mean. Even though the Galaxy Rangers have been out of sight for years, we've been keeping an eye on this region. Even the dumbest criminals know better than to mess with the Annihilation Gang, much less the Rangers. But that Acheron lady, she doesn't seem like a lunatic at all. On the contrary, she's highly logical and organized. She knows exactly when to hold back and when to strike without mercy.
And do you believe that someone like her would have an ulterior motive for impersonating a Galaxy Ranger?
I'm not entirely sure, but I do have my suspicions. Maybe she knows a Galaxy Ranger, or perhaps she's trying to lure us out for some reason, which I can't figure out.
That is actually very interesting. Like, if she is not a Galaxy Ranger, what kind of faction is she associated with? Is what I'm thinking about right now. Because she's clearly not with the IPC. And we don't really know anything else about her, apart from being the emanator of nihility. You know? So like, it's kind of interesting. I'm kind of racking my brain if I remember something that we can use, but as we've seen earlier, my memory is not necessarily the best about keeping facts up to date, or, you know, right at the forefront of my mind. So I'm wondering if she is not a Galaxy Ranger, as Boothill said. What kind of association does she have?
Anyway, what worries me more are the anomalies within the family. They've summoned followers from various paths for the festival. No matter how generous the family might be, this move seems highly unusual.
We just got the answer to this. It was Gallagher. It was Gallagher. Gallagher sent out the invitations.
Unless the invitations weren't sent by them.
Yes.
If that's the case, it's even more intriguing that the family insists on organizing the Charmony Festival, despite the chaos.
Hello. Welcome, welcome. I hope you have a pleasant time. We are continuing the Penacony Trailblaze mission from last week. We got some answers to our questions, which is nice, and we are currently playing as Boothill and Danheng, and we are trying to get a hold of the Astral Express crew. Just a TLDR, or TLDW, I guess, because you're just joining. But thank you for joining. Hope you have a pleasant time.
Maybe it's Shi-Pei the Harmony pulling the strings. You find it beyond human understanding because it wasn't arranged by humans at all.
I mean, not quite right.
People do stupid things out of irrational impulses. They abandon their principles when self-interest is involved. They believe in things they know they shouldn't, and fudge, they even break their own rules.
But that's not really what happened here. It's interesting to see the outside world reacting to stuff, because we just learned that the invitations were sent by Gallagher for one to seal the Stellaron and for two to lure out the traitor within the family. But the outside world does not have that information yet. So
Don't. They stick to their determined path and never turn back, even if they reach a dead end.
You think Shippei's will is behind all this?
maybe though, actually, yeah, because the family is, or how I'm not really sure how to say this, how to put this, but the family kind of abandoned the path of the harmony, and Penacony is kind of spiraling out of control into either destruction or nihility, which neither of those are quite good when it comes, to the fact that they were supposed to be the epitome of harmony. And maybe it is Chipe pulling the strings. Kind of. Maybe. Like indirectly. Kind of, making sure that Gallagher's invitations went out and got to the right people, and then, that they can reach each other and actually meet up and, possibly team up, as we saw.
It may not necessarily be Shippei, but there's definitely some higher entity involved. I know it may sound pessimistic, but if human free will were reliable, why would we even need Galaxy Rangers? It's much simpler when you boil it down to the eons and paths. Like how Lon always follows the path of the hunt, or how the Express stays true to the Trailblaze despite Akavili's disappearance.
But in my opinion, Akavili's fall holds significance for the Nameless.
Oh, so you're saying the Nameless now have to take responsibility for their own choices because their absolutely right leader is gone?
I'm not sure if I like how he worded that.
Exactly. I believe the purpose of the journey isn't just about following a path that's always considered absolutely right. It's more about doing your best to choose the right path for yourself among countless possibilities, even with limited insight and judgment.
Right. Exactly. It's about the journey. It's not about being right. It's about you experiencing it. It's about making decisions that feel right to you and learning from your mistakes. It's about growth. It's a metaphor, if you will.
I don't know what you've been through, but I agree that people must take responsibility for their choices, because no one else can do it for them. That's why the Galaxy Rangers need to uncover the imposter and figure out her true intentions.
I really am curious too. After we learned that Acheron is not actually a Galaxy Ranger and she had a confrontation with the family. So we still have questions left to be answered.
Just in case. I have a backup plan if the Memo Keeper doesn't show up.
A backup plan for a backup plan?
Backup plan.
Okay.
I promise.
You sure have a lot of cards up your sleeve.
Well, going back to my old career would make things a lot easier. By the way, when you were walking around the hotel, did you happen to see any important-looking guests?
What's your plan?
It's simple. We just grab some hostages and use them as bargaining chips with the family. Or maybe we can even take their identities.
Excuse me? that escalated quickly. Hostages? What? Sir? Sir, please calm down.
No need for that. We'll return to the Express now.
Wait, are you getting scared? Draw your weapon. Let's make a big scene.
A big scene. It's just what you need, right?
Are you leaving, esteemed guests? Would you like to cancel that as Donna's White Oak you just ordered?
Huh? As Donna's White Oak? But didn't you just say...
Ha ha. Looks like you are a bit intoxicated, esteemed guests. You ordered a bottle of As Donna's White Oak just a moment ago.
Looks like your memo keeper friend has finally arrived.
So Black Swan is right here. Let's go.
Right. Sorry, my memory's not the best. You know, too many modifications and all. Anyway, let me check. Well, fork me. It says Donna's White Oak, all right. And there's a note. I'll be waiting for you on the Astral Express.
Wait, so she is on the Astral Express?
No mistake. That's her message to you. She knew the hotel wasn't safe, so she suggested we find another place.
Yeah, that makes sense. That she would know.
Well, looks like we took a detour, but now it's back to the Astral Express. So, what are we waiting for?
Let's go.
You're back? Two guests just boarded saying they were looking for Boot Hill, so I told them to wait in the parlor car.
Wait, two. One of them is Black Swan. The only person I can think of might be Acheron or an NPC.
Oh, just in time.
Two guests?
She's one of them. Look, we welcome all passengers on the Astral Express, but sneaking in like that? You have no regard for etiquette.
My apologies, conductor. It was an oversight on my part. I assumed you were already acquainted with the garden. Given the chaotic situation in Penacony, the Nameless are the only ones we can truly trust right now.
What a metaphor that was from Cowboy Daddy. Which one? I am feeling kind of silly. My brain is not braining today, apparently. Late reaction, sorry, I was sneezing. It's okay. Hope you are doing better, or like you can recover quick. I kind of lost the plot here. I am also in a silly mood again, just like last week, kind of. My brain is really not braining. I had to think about one name. He can hold me hostage. I mean, mood, big mood. I do feel that as well. He is very beautiful. Sorry. I had to stretch a little bit right there. But yeah. Where was I? Yeah, so at the beginning of the stream, I had like a complete blank out. You know, I was thinking about stuff and I couldn't recall like character names. And I was like, what? What just happened? And I had to think for like a solid minute for me to actually recall what some characters are called. So that was fun. So my brain is not really braining at the moment, but I'm getting like, huge lore drops. I gotta go now. Have a lovely stream. Thank you for dropping by. I hope you had a pleasant time and I wish you well. I hope you recover soon. Thank you for joining. Bye bye. So let's continue, shall we? My apologies, conductor. It was an oversight on my part. I assume you were already acquainted with the garden. Given the chaotic situation in Penacony, the Nameless are the only ones we can truly trust right now. I think the garden is, or well, it's not really the garden, but it's, the memory of chaos thingy is only visible to the Trailblazer, not necessarily the whole Astral Express crew. So I guess that's an oversight, kind of, on Black Swan's part.
You are the memo keeper.
Yes, she is.
Pleased to meet you, Danheng. I've seen you in others' memories. And as for Boot Hill, this is our first face-to-face meeting. I hope you enjoyed that bottle of Astana's White Oak. You sure have a refined taste.
A refined taste it is.
Finally, Memo Keeper. Well, let's cut to the chase. Spill everything you know.
I would like to know as well.
That's precisely what I intend to do. But before that, please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Black Swan, and I serve the Garden of Recollection as a memo keeper.
It is Acheron.
As for Acheron's story, I'm sure she knows it better than I do.
She was the other guest. I guessed correctly.
Greetings. I'm Acheron.
What? You Garden of Recollection shirtbag! You betrayed me!
I
No.
apologize, but she did that at my request. Due to certain reasons, I have been exiled by the family. Thankfully, this memo keeper came to my aid and helped me escape their surveillance unnoticed.
To be honest, it was more like stalking than helping. And the process was far from unnoticed. But we did escape.
I asked her to guide me to a place beyond the family's reach and to contact a few trustworthy individuals, namely all of you.
I mean, yeah, the Astral Express crew already has a deal with Acheron. I'm not really sure about Boot Hill though, because he has a thing against you right now.
Trustworthy? Son of a nice lady. You think I'm dumb or something? How about this? I'll put a few bullet holes in your head and see what secrets spill out. Then, we can talk about trust.
It doesn't have to be like that. I'm willing to answer all your questions, but not right now. If my cover hadn't been blown, we might have had more time, but at the moment, we don't have any other options.
That pose, I'm not really sure who came up with it, but it's very JoJo. It's very slay, actually. And it's very attractive, one might say. And I am one.
No other options? What do you mean?
This is the only way I can ensure everyone's safety. I kindly request an immediate warp jump out of the Astana star system.
Well, that's drastic. That's not very, like, trust inducing in the Astral Express.
This passenger is requesting...
As far as I can tell, she's not a threat and seems to be telling the truth.
I've briefly traveled with your companions and know their whereabouts, Danheng. Please rest assured, your nameless companions are safe, but they need our help. As for Boot Hill, you may have guessed. I've been waiting for you. Galaxy Rangers are known for their elusive nature and limited contact with each other. So this was the only way I could reach out to you.
So she was deliberately doing it, or is that the right word to use? But she did that on purpose. She said she is a Galaxy Ranger just so she can contact another actual Galaxy Ranger. That is big
Only
brain.
by doing this can I find a true Galaxy Ranger and fulfill a long-standing promise.
Okay, we're getting some more answers
To
here.
return his relics to their rightful owner. Someone once told me that every rainfall is like a gift from the heavens, a sign of their mercy upon the world. Raindrops are said to be the tears of the gods, shed in response to the sorrows of the world. Their constant pouring is a reminder that the gods haven't abandoned us yet.
Is it heartbreak time again?
So, how long has this rain been going on for?
I used to believe, just like you, that it would eventually stop. Years and decades passed. And in the end, such hope faded away before the rain did. Looks like the god you mentioned doesn't exist after all.
Oh no. As he spoke, the old man's gaze remained fixed on the distance. Amidst the fine drizzle of black rain, countless shadowy hands emerged from the sea, shrouded in an eternal mist, reaching out towards the sky one by one.
Well, let me share a story with you. Mortals who walk the paths are like sailors on a vast ocean, leaving behind a trail that creates countless ripples of possibilities. These ripples last longer than the fleeting lifetimes of humans. And for some, their presence leaves such a strong mark that it's reflected in the waves.
Like those shadows on the ocean.
Sin-thirsters, the obsessions of the Pathstriders, they emerge from the depths of IX, seeing themselves as masters of their own destiny, unknowingly repeating the actions of their past lives. They emerge from the nihility and head toward it, leading purposeless lives. However, these hollow phantoms, they were once my dear companions. A group of Galaxy Rangers.
It is heartbreak time again.
Are you watching over them?
Watching over them? No. I'm guiding them toward transcendence. It was a brutal war. A crusade that shook the universe. The universe witnessed the fall of Zulo, the Lord Ravager, but it came at a price. A price so hefty that only those who were there still remember. The unwavering determination of the Hunt followers persists even in death. So someone must guide these lost souls to their life beyond. They were heroes in their time, and they shouldn't be reduced to mere puppets of nihility.
Oh.
As for me, I've suffered too many losses on that battlefield to advance any further. And that makes me the most fitting person to carry out this task.
But you know, these sin thirsters, they're not who they used to be.
They might not be, but some way, shape, or form, they are still in there.
Does this seem pointless to you? Well, some tasks have to be done, even if they are pointless.
And that is one way he finds purpose. That is the only way to, you know, not fall into oblivion and into nihility. Finding purpose and finding meaning where other people do not see it.
I can help you.
For what?
For the meaning of the nihility. That's what I've been seeking.
I see. After all, this realm is off limits to ordinary souls, right? Thank you, stranger. I wish that you find what you seek.
Before we part ways, I have one more question. It is true that their actions and even their entire lives may seem pointless from our perspective. But if, and it's just an if this is what the departed ones expected, should we try to change it?
A good question. And a profound one. I don't know the answer.
And that is something very deep and very hard to actually answer. And the whole thing about, like, you know, self-fulfilling prophecies, or I don't necessarily think this one is a self-fulfilling prophecy, but there's this saying that goes something like, when you try to avoid your destiny, you are going to be taking steps right into it. That might not make any sense, and it's probably not a good enough way to talk about it. But when you try to avoid something happening because you know you might unwillingly or unknowingly cause it because you are trying so hard to avoid it, you know?
What I do know is that one day I too will pass away. I hope that when that day comes, someone will stand at my grave and place a bouquet of flowers.
Aww. I didn't realize Penacony's story is going to be this sad.
When I appeared as a child, my speech, mindset, and soul reflected immaturity and innocence. As I grew into adulthood, I left behind my childlike side.
I humbly request your blessings, esteemed advocate of Shipe.
Come to me, my kinship. I have sought their presence with us.
As you wish. I have faithfully served the Alfalfa family for nearly a decade, promoting the path of the harmony to the best of my ability. However, I made a mistake yesterday. While I was preparing dinner for the family head, I accidentally dropped a prepared dish on the floor.
And why is that so wrong? Here.
Out of laziness, I lied and claimed that everything was ready. Although the head has dismissed me as punishment, it has been tough to sleep with the guilt still gnawing at me, as I worried that the seeds of evilness may have taken root in my soul. So, I confess to you now, to seek atonement for my sins.
Do you sincerely repent and vow to change your ways?
This is fascinating though, because we've known that Aeons kind of act like gods, kind of. Metaphorically, maybe. And we know that the family is the follower of Shipe, the harmony. So like family heads kind of act like... I didn't think about that before. From that point of view, it kind of makes sense that they are kind of like religious leaders as well. Not just, you know, the leaders of Penacony, they are kind of religious leaders as well. And so Sunday, as the head of the Oak family, one of the leading families, he is also a religious leader. Interesting. I did not think about this point of view before.
Yes. Have you examined your soul and confessed all your sins?
Yes.
Are you willing to accept the process of atonement?
Yes.
Very well. Show your dedication and goodwill to the family, and you shall be reinstated among them. Now, please, leave in peace.
Oh, praise Shipe. And thank you, esteemed advocate.
Next, please step forward.
I wholeheartedly confess to you. Please, pardon my sins.
I am not quite sure where this is going. But we are learning more about Sunday here.
Rest assured, I have implored their presence to be with us. As long as you are sincere, absolution will be granted.
Oh, great. You know, I arrived in Penacony as a stowaway. I sold everything to get a ticket. My house, my land, and my 2 children.
Whoa, okay, that's wild.
I see. Please, go on.
My children were starving, and I hoped they'd have a chance at survival if they became slaves here. If I can strike it rich here, I'll lift them out of that situation and give them the life they deserve.
Okay.
But the Bloodhound family got wind of it. They're on my tail, hunting me down. I thought I could bring my kids here. It was all my fault. All my fault.
The family is ready to forgive all sinners. I'll ask the Bloodhound family to cease their pursuit. You don't need to live in fear anymore.
Sorry about that. I had to take care of something. I'm not. I'm probably not going to be staying for too long. Um, I like this is definitely something that we cannot just pause. So we're gonna see where this is going, and the next place where I can kind of just leave you off. Leave you off. I don't think that's a turn of phrasing that's used, but where we can leave with a little hang cliffhanger. My brain is really not braining, so we are nearing the end of my brain capacity as well. But let's see where this is going, and the first place where I can stop, we are stopping for today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'll work my hardest to redeem my children and make them part of the family. Praise the harmony!
Next, please step forward.
Hey! Long time no see, Mr. Sunday. The most esteemed individual in Penacony, and the next leader of the Oak family, right?
That's definitely not someone who is repenting.
I have sought their presence with us. Let us proceed.
Sure. Let's just get this over with. I have sinned. Please forgive me. I wasted half a pizza at breakfast, and a bottle of Soul Glad.
Excuse me? What?
That's it. Nothing more. Can we wrap this up? I've got a robo-ball game to catch, you know?
Do you seek to atone for your sins through good deeds?
My sins? Starting to sound like a saint, huh? Well, let me tell you something. Neither the family nor you have the right to judge me. You think nobody knows what your precious family has done? About the Watchmaker? Huh? Don't kid yourself, Featherbrain. Those dream chasers might be fooled by your act, but don't fool yourself. Before you start spouting off your holy verses, answer me this. Where does the power of the Oak family come from? And your power? What makes you think you can sit there all high and mighty, looking down on everyone else? Well, I've spent enough time in confession today to enter the Harmony's paradise, right? Then I'll take my leave. Good luck with your election, and don't make me regret my investments in you.
I don't think that is how it should work. I guess corruption really is running deep here.
Oh, revered triple-faced soul, hear my doubts. Who can judge the strong when their power hides their crimes?
Yes. Yes!
Who can vouch for the weak when they will pay any price to survive? Who can comfort the purest souls when even they get led astray? If the strong defending the weak is truly the foundation of paradise, then who is responsible for the suffering and anguish in this wretched world?
Brother? Brother?
That was solid. Like, that was solid character building right there. We learned so much about Sunday just from that.
Brother, are you alright?
He doesn't seem to be.
I'm fine. I've been working long hours, and I just made a trip to Dreamflux Reef and back. So, I'm a bit out of sorts. but it'll all be over before we know it.
You've been working non-stop on the Charmony Festival, Mr. Sunday, and no one could have predicted this incident. Even if the Stellaron does pose a grave threat, I still feel sorry for all the trouble we've caused you.
No need to worry about troubling anyone. The Charmony Festival was meant to spread joy and harmony across the cosmos. But now that we know the truth, I'm afraid we'll have to cancel it.
That's the logical decision to make, but we'll see how things go.
It has always been our wish to make everyone happy, so we'll do our best to explain everything to the Dream Master. I'm sure he'll understand.
Hopefully.
Even if the negotiation does not go smoothly, I'll refuse to go on stage. Without the Chord Master, the Harmonious Choir would not arrive, and the Charmony Festival would be just a grand performance, and nothing more.
I'm relieved to see your determination.
So am I. It's so nice to see.
You know, since arriving in Penacony, we haven't had any contact with this Dream Master himself. I'd heard of the heads of the 5 major lineages, but the Dream Master is a mystery to me.
The Dream Master rarely grants an audience, even for us. But, given the urgency of the situation, he's agreed to meet us in person.
Perhaps you'll be the first guest to meet the Dream Master in years, Mr. Yang.
Let's hope we can reach a consensus that satisfies everyone.
I have a feeling will not be able to, but we'll see.
Indeed. Let us hope so.
It's about time. We'll have to get ready for the meeting. I apologize for any inconvenience caused by the urgency.
I'm not really liking the fact that Sunday is being his prim and proper self again. Like putting on a facade.
Don't worry. I'll be waiting here.
Very dutiful.
Dear, it's Mr. Sunday! Hey, come over here!
Looks like someone needs help. Let's go check it out.
Let's go check it out. But first, I am going to thank you for your attention. Thank you for joining me today. It's been a wild ride. We did get many answers that we were looking for, and we learned some more interesting things about Acheron and Bootiel, and also about Sunday himself. Wow, that was kind of freaky, but that's okay. Yeah. Without any further ado, I'm going to thank you for joining again. If you enjoyed today's stream, please leave a like. And if you want to stay updated with the channel, please consider subscribing. And with that, Avery is gonna sign out. Bye bye.